Everyone knows the WWE's ratings are in the toilet, but there are signs that Vince McMahon is finally taking notice and working to improve both Raw and SmackDown Live. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at 9 ways ratings could go up for the WWE. Here you go people, something positive for a change. Number 1. Admitting there is a problem. In some ways, Vince McMahon is like someone with an addiction problem who admits they have a problem but fails to follow up. Admitting you have a problem is a good start, but it's no good if you don't do anything to address your problem. Recall last December when Vince, Stephanie and Shane McMahon announced on Raw that the WWE recognized the fans weren't happy and promised to do something about it. Regrettably, the WWE didn't take long to fall back into the problems that have turned the fans off, which are long promos, the same matches, and pushes for wrestlers the fans couldn't care less about. While the WWE hasn't made another public statement acknowledging their problem connecting with the fans, they finally seem to be doing something about it. So number 2, doing something about it. The WWE has a long way to go before their product is entertaining again and it becomes must-see TV. And the WWE had better move fast because AEW will be breathing down its neck this fall. But they do seem to be acknowledging their problems and addressing them. The 24/7 Championship is a good example of the WWE working to solve the problem. But wait, there's more. The company has quickly dismissed things that weren't doing any good, such as Raw's darker third hour, a concept which may have looked good on paper, but which proved difficult to pull off in any significant way. Rather than sticking with a pointless concept, the WWE quietly dropped it. If only they'd do the same with Shane McMahon's push. The company seems to be addressing some of its problems as seen with some of the following moves. Number 3. Listening to outsiders. It's hard to dismiss your low rating when the cable network paying you for your show tells you that you need to improve the ratings. The USA Network, the WWE's longtime home, recently expressed its concerns about Raw and SmackDown Live's ratings, even going so far as to suggest a 24/7 championship. According to Dave Meltzer, in recent weeks, the ratings for Raw's third hour got bad enough that WWE recognized they had to do something. The big move was basically to allow the top stars from SmackDown to appear on Raw, and to make sure SmackDown doesn't become a secondary show while it's getting ready to move to Fox to do the same. USA Network of late was sending all kinds of ideas to WWE to bring up the third hour ratings. One person with knowledge of the story said the ideas were all terrible, but the 24/7 idea was the best one, and McMahon knew he had to take one of them. While the idea is 24/7, Foley in announcing it said that it would be there for the third hour of Raw, which makes no sense if it can be defended at any time. But that's the reason he said it. I guess it'll be mostly part of the third hour, even though the idea is it can be defended at any time. The 24/7 Championship got off on the wrong foot, with the sound of crickets filling the arena as Mick Foley introduced the belt on Raw. However, the belt quickly became one of the most talked about segments on WWE TV, as well as the company's social media accounts. R-Truth deserves pretty much all of the credit for helping to get the belt over, and right now, Brad Shepard of the Oh You Didn't Know podcast recently tweeted, "A source in WWE described R-Truth to me as the biggest draw on all platforms," also noting he is single-handedly carrying social media right now. While he deserves the majority of the praise along with Drake Maverick, let's also credit WWE for listening to an outsider. While Vince McMahon rarely lets others have the final say, it's difficult to say no to a company paying you millions and millions of dollars to air your show. With any luck, the USA Network will have some more helpful suggestions for Vince to implement. Number 4. Listening to insiders. Believe it or not, the WWE seems to be testing the idea of giving its superstars a chance to pitch ideas to creative. Rumor has it that the WWE is using the 24/7 Championship as an experiment for seeing what happens when wrestlers are allowed to make unscripted promos and pitch ideas. However, the Wrestling Observer's Dave Meltzer cautioned, "We're told that there's been too much input from too many people on the team who haven't figured out that when you change something in a story, it has a ripple effect on every aspect of the story." He solicits input on so much from so many people that it leads to things being watered down. Although this could be a problem, the mere fact that the WWE's Kingpin is open to new ideas gives hopes the TV product could improve, leading to a ratings boost. Vince McMahon remains the person with the final say, regardless of whether ideas come from him, from creative, or from his wrestlers. Number 5. Pushing the undercard. The 24/7 Championship has also opened the door for more opportunities for undercard wrestlers, a frequent complaint among fans and industry analysts who point out that the part of the Attitude Era's success was the fact that there were entertaining segments from start to finish. Granted, we're not saying the Attitude Era was perfect, but the shows were consistently entertaining, and part of the reason was that superstars such as Al Snow, Crash Holly, Val Venus, and The Godfather all had their moments in the sun before it was time for main eventers such as The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin to end the show. The 24/7 title is an excellent start, and the WWE should consider adding more segments involving the undercard besides those dealing with the 24/7 belt. Number 6. More build-up. Back in the Attitude Era, fans knew ahead of time what they could expect on an episode of Raw and later SmackDown as the WWF promoted matches on the next week's show. There was also more build-up for pay-per-views, unlike today where matches are often announced the week before the show or even 1 or 2 days before on social media or WWE.com. We're reluctantly giving the devil his dues as Vince McMahon seems to be giving his TV shows and pay-per-views more build-up. While the WWE is notorious for promising something and failing to deliver, aka a bait and switch, things such as Brock Lesnar's promise to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase on Raw only to back up have all been a step forward. They've also spent more time building up matches for pay-per-view. For example, the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match between champions Rowan and Daniel Bryan against Heavy Machinery scheduled for Stomping Grounds received an unbelievable 2 weeks of build-up, a move that likely shocked fans used to little promotion for the WWE Championship, let alone the tag team belts. The WWE also promoted its women's division by announcing on 18th June 2019 SmackDown that the upcoming match in Japan between the Kabuki Warriors and WWE Women's Tag Team Champions the Iconics will be a non-title match, but if the Kabuki Warriors win, they will become number 1 contenders. The WWE should consider adding similar announcements to house shows if they want to continue running them. But for now, the advanced build-up is a refreshing change and one we hope boosts Raw and SmackDown Live's anemic ratings. Number 7. Interlocking storylines. Isn't it odd how the WWE superstars operate in a shared universe yet rarely seem to interact with other storylines? Not to keep bringing up the Attitude Era, but storylines often crossed over with other storylines. That's changed somewhat over the last 2 months as wrestlers have been brought into programs involving other wrestlers. For example, WWE Champion Kofi Kingston's current battle with Dolph Ziggler spilled over into a program between Kofi's New Day teammates Big E and Xavier Woods, and Ziggler's partners in crime, Zayn and Kevin Owens. In a similar vein, Roman Reigns' battle with Shane McMahon has led to Reigns' cousins the Usos helping him against Shane's flunkies The Revival. The WWE hasn't forgotten about The Miz's history with Shane O'Mac, making it clear The Miz hasn't forgotten the problems McMahon has given him. While Shane McMahon's push is ridiculous and needs to end, it's good that the WWE is at least using the storyline to bring more wrestlers and possibly boost its ratings as fans realize various segments interlock with others. Number 8. More championship matches. The WWE's penchant for pushing titles only to forget about them the next week is notorious, which makes us reluctant to even mention this for fear the WWE will prove us right again. Still, the WWE actually seems to be putting focus on its titles, whether it's the main event titles such as the Universal Championship and 2 Women's Championships, or lesser titles such as the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. Stomping Grounds features an impressive number of title defenses, with the Intercontinental Championship, the Women's Tag Team Championship and Raw Tag Team Championship the only belts that aren't being defended. The WWE needs to keep doing this in order to prove they are serious about titles meaning something, but right now the company is making some fans optimistic. And number 9. Trying new things. The WWE is a promotion that still seems happy catering to a younger audience, although as we've noted in previous videos, there's some question whether the WWE's core audience is actually made of a younger demographic. Nonetheless, the WWE has tried testing the waters in terms of edginess, as seen with Bray Wyatt's popular Firefly Funhouse segments. The segments are a blend of dark humor and pokes at what goes on behind the scenes in wrestling. While there were talks of advertisers initially expressing concern about the content, the WWE has kept the segments on, even turning them darker as the show went on. Whether the WWE realizes that a younger demographic sees things much darker than the Firefly Funhouse, or they know they need to reach more fans, it's encouraging to see the company try something different and give it time to succeed or fail. Well, there you have it guys, 9 ways the WWE is trying to increase ratings. How can WWE improve ratings even further? Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.